In the previous video, we have discussed about mode of coaxial transmission line. And now in this video, we will discuss the analysis of the coaxial transmission line. That how a coaxial transmission line can be analyzed. Okay, so let's go through. The frequency over which a coaxial transmission line can operate is ranging between 10 to the power 9, that means 1 gigahertz, to up to 100 gigahertz, more or less. Okay, so at this very high frequency, if we see that which kind of analysis procedure can be used, either it is circuit theory or it is field theory. So there should be a differentiation between circuit theory and field theory. Which theory can be used to analyze coaxial transmission line? We will discuss this in this slide. So let's go through this. Suppose we have a circuit element like a resistor or an inductor or a capacitor. The length of such lumped circuit element is very small, 2 to 3 centimeter. And if we if we compare this length of this lumped element with the corresponding wavelength of this frequency 10 to the power 9 to 10 to the power 11, we can see that the length of the circuit element or lumped component of the circuit has been comparable with the wavelength of the incident field. Therefore, there will be a certain phase difference along the length of the lumped element. Therefore, the voltage, current as well as the impedance will change over the length of the circuit element. Therefore, we cannot use lumped component to the analysis of coaxial transmission line. Okay, so for this coaxial transmission line analysis, we have to discuss another kind of circuit element, and this is called distributed circuit element. For distributed circuit element, the value of resistance, capacitance or inductance has been changed with the length. Okay, so now come to another important characteristics of the analysis of coaxial transmission line, that either it can be used using circuit theory or field theory. Now there is certain category of transmission lines like transverse electromagnetic transmission lines, like coaxial transmission line, twin wire transmission line, quasi TEM transmission line, like microstrip transmission line. This kind of transmission line has been analyzed using circuit theory. Why? Because we can define appropriately the voltage and current within this kind of lines. Therefore, we can use circuit theory in this kind of transmission lines. Now come to another kind of transmission line, like transverse electric transverse magnetic hybrid electric transmission lines. And for this kind of transmission line, all these transmission lines are single conductor transmission line, and we cannot define voltage properly for this kind of transmission line. So for this for this kind of transmission lines, TE, TM or HE transmission line, we have to apply field theory. Okay, so a coaxial transmission line can be drawn like that, and the center conductor can be connected with a generator resistance Rg and a generator voltage Vg. And also you can see that the ground of the Vg is connected to the outer conductor at the input port, and at the output port there is a connection of load resistance RL between center conductor and the outer grounded conductor. Okay, now this dotted portion or the coaxial transmission line can be equivalently drawn as a circuit, and you can see that in this circuit the RL and shunt G and C, all these are basically distributed parameter. Okay, and their value has been changed with the length of the transmission line. Now you can also find out that in this dotted line, at the left hand side of the dotted line and the right hand side of the dotted line, these two portions are symmetric to each other. Therefore, we can also define image impedance for left hand side and right hand side of this dotted line. And if we calculate these two image impedance, and if we consider very small length of this transmission line, we can find out that these two image impedance are basically equal, and this image impedance basically called the characteristic impedance of this transmission line. Now if we see this sorry, this coaxial line as a black box, then the characteristic impedance of this coaxial line is Z0, right? And at the input port there is a generator, right? Now from the input port we can see another impedance, that is called input impedance or Zin, and at the output port there is a connection of load impedance, right? So this kind of circuit of coaxial transmission line can be analyzed by using KVL, KCL, okay, and some wave equation we will discuss in the next slide. Now, a twin wire or coaxial transmission line can be equivalently drawn like a two conductor which have two ports. Port 1, the voltage of port 1 is VZT and current is IZT, and at the port 2 voltage is VZ plus DZT and our current is IZ plus DZT, where we have considered very small length of the transmission line and as DZ, right? And so the equivalent circuit of this transmission line can be drawn like that. Already we have discussed initially or in the previous slide. So sorry, so if we apply KVL to this equivalent circuit, we can find out dVz dz equals to minus r plus j omega l Iz, and if we apply KCL, we can find out d Iz dz equals to minus g plus j omega c Vz. During calculation of KVL, G and C will no longer be come, and in case of KCL analysis, the R and L will no longer come into the analysis. Now if we sorry, if we combine KVL and KCL equation, we can find out second order differential equation for voltage and current, where these two equations are known as voltage equation and current wave equation. Okay, where gamma is the propagation constant, can be written as alpha plus j beta. Alpha is the attenuation constant of the transmission line and beta is the phase constant of the transmission line. And if we calculate from KCL and KVL equation, we can find out gamma as equals to square root of r plus j omega l multiplied by g plus j omega c. Now as we told that these two second order differential equation for voltage and current are basically wave equation for voltage and current respectively. Therefore we can get a general solution of voltage wave and as well as current wave. The voltage wave Vz basically have two components. One is forward voltage component, another is reverse voltage component. Forward voltage component has been designated by V0 plus e to the power minus gamma z, and reverse voltage has been designated by V0 minus e to the power minus gamma z. And current also defined as I0 plus e to the power minus gamma z for forward current, and for backward current I0 minus e to the power gamma z. Also you can see from the figure 1 that the input current and the current at the port 2 are opposite to each other. Therefore we can define the characteristic impedance alternatively here as V0 plus by I0 plus and V0 minus by I0 minus, because these I0 plus and I0 minus are opposite to each other. That's why this negative sign come into the picture. Now this equation basically used for the analysis of transmission line, or we can say the analysis of coaxial transmission line or twin-wire transmission line. Okay. Like, thanks for watching obviously, and please like and share this video. Also subscribe this channel and click the bell icon for more updates. Okay, so thank you for watching.